I stared at the screen for a solid minute. My coffee went cold. The cursor blinked. I read it again, then again. My brain kept trying to make the math work, like when you see a really bad Excel formula and your whole body rejects it. 3 2-year-old son, 2 4-year-old me. The equation was broken. I'm a financial analyst. Numbers are my thing. Data doesn't lie. My birth certificate says Mark Hayes, born April 1999. I have a social security number. I have tax returns. I have a credit score. I have memories kindergarten, middle school, that embarrassing phase in high school where I tried to grow a beard. All of it, linear and logical. This was a scam. Had to be. Some new phishing scheme. I Googled LinkedIn scam son message and got nothing relevant. I checked the profile again. Leo Vance, project manager, 147 connections. Looked legitimate. Normal job history. Normal activity. He posted about project management tools and shared articles about work-life balance. Not the profile of a scammer. I should have blocked him. I should have reported it. Instead I typed, "You have the wrong person. I'm Mark Hayes. I don't have kids. I'm 24. The 3 dots appeared immediately. Leo, your real name is David Miller. You disappeared on November 3rd, 2017. You were 32. Your car was found abandoned on Highway 26, just outside Portland. They searched for months. They never found you." My chest tightened. This was elaborate, too elaborate. I stood up, paced my apartment. My hands were shaking. I sat back down. Me, this isn't funny. I don't know what you're trying to pull, but Leo, I'm sending you something. Please look at it. A file appeared. A photo. I hesitated, then clicked. It loaded slowly, line by line, and then I saw it. Me, but not me. An older version, late 30s, maybe 40. He was standing on a wooden porch with peeling paint. His arm was around a woman with dark hair and tired eyes. She was smiling, but the smile didn't reach her face. Between them was a kid, maybe 7 or 8, gap-toothed and holding a toy truck. The man, the other me, looked happy, really happy. His hair was cut shorter than mine. He had the same jawline, the same crooked bottom tooth, the same small crescent scar above his left eyebrow. I touched my eyebrow. The scar was there. I'd had it my whole life. My parents told me I fell off my bike when I was 6. My parents. I looked at the photo again. The date stamp in the corner, November 2nd, 2017. Me. Where did you get this? Leo. That's our house. That's my mom. That's me. That's you. The day before you vanished. I couldn't breathe. My apartment felt smaller. The walls were closing in. I stood up again, knocked my chair over, didn't pick it up. I went to the bathroom and stared at myself in the mirror. Mark Hayes, 24 years old, financial analyst, lives alone, has 2 parents who retired to Florida. Normal life, normal face, except for the scar. I went back to my laptop. My hands were trembling so hard I could barely type. Me, what's your mother's name? Leo. Rebecca. Rebecca Miller. She passed away last year. Lung disease. She spent every day looking for you. She never remarried. She never stopped believing you were alive. I opened a new tab, typed David Miller missing 2017 with shaking fingers. The results loaded, page after page. News articles, missing person reports. A Facebook group with 2,000 members called Bring David Home. The most recent post was from 3 weeks ago, someone sharing an age-progressed photo of what David Miller might look like now at 40. It looked exactly like me. I clicked on the first article. Local man vanishes without trace. There was a photo. David Miller, 32, standing in front of a blue sedan. Same face, same scar, same crooked tooth. The article detailed the disappearance. His car had been found on a rural highway. Keys still in the ignition. Wallet and phone inside. No signs of struggle. No blood. No evidence. Just gone. The next article mentioned the family. Wife Rebecca and son Leo, 8. Appeal for information. There was a photo of them, Leo, younger, holding a missing poster with his dad's face on it. Rebecca standing behind him, one hand on his shoulder, face hollow with grief. I scrolled through more articles. The investigation went cold. Theories ranged from voluntary disappearance to foul play. Nothing concrete. No answers. I clicked on the Facebook group. Post after post from Rebecca. Please come home. We love you. We're waiting. She posted on his birthday, on Leo's birthday, on their anniversary. Every single post for years, until suddenly they stopped. I scrolled to the end. The last post was from a friend, dated 8 months ago. Rest in peace, Rebecca. You fought so hard. I felt sick. My phone rang. Unknown number. I stared at it for 3 rings before I answered. Hello? Mark? A man's voice. Young, shaking. Who is this? It's Leo. I'm sorry to call. I found your number. I know this is crazy. I know you probably think I'm insane. I don't know what to think. Can we meet? I don't even know you. I know. His voice cracked. But you're my dad. I've been looking for you for 8 years. Please. I'm not your dad. I'm 24. You're 32. The math doesn't. You're not 24. He was crying now. Full on crying. I don't know what happened to you. I don't know who told you you're 24, but you're not. You're 40. You're David Miller. You're my dad. I hung up. I couldn't do it. I couldn't listen. My whole body was shaking. I put my phone down and backed away from it like it was going to explode. This wasn't real. This wasn't happening. I called my parents. The phone rang 4 times before my mom picked up. Mark, honey, how are you? Mom, my voice was barely there. What's wrong? You sound upset. I need to ask you something. Of course. What is it? When did you adopt me? Silence. Long, terrible silence. Mark, what are you talking about? Just answer the question. We didn't adopt you. You're our son. Mom, please. I need the truth. We are telling you the truth. Mark, what's going on? Did something happen? I thought about the scar. I thought about the photo. I thought about the articles. Where did I get the scar? Above my eye? You fell off your bike. You were 6. We told you this. What was the bike's color? Another pause. Shorter this time. Red. It was red. What hospital did you take me to? Mark. Why are you... What hospital? I don't remember. It was so long ago. You don't remember which hospital you took your bleeding 6-year-old to. Mark, you're scaring me. Did you know David Miller? The silence this time was different. Heavy. Guilty. Mom, I don't know what you're talking about. David Miller, missing since 2017, from a town you used to live in. Mark, I think you need to... Did you take me? Mark, did you take me from my family? She hung up. I stood there, holding my dead phone. My mom had never hung up on me. Not once in 24 years. Not in my entire memory. My entire memory. I sat down on the floor. My apartment was spinning. Everything I knew, everything I remembered, was any of it real? I thought about my childhood, birthdays, holidays, school photos. But when I tried to remember specifics, it was blurry, like watching a movie through frosted glass. I could remember the feeling of memories, but not the details. I couldn't remember my elementary school's name. I couldn't remember any of my teachers. I couldn't remember any friends before high school. My phone buzzed. A text from Leo. I'm at the coffee shop on 4th and Main. I'll wait as long as it takes. Please. I grabbed my jacket. The coffee shop was nearly empty. Leo was sitting in the back corner, hunched over a laptop. He looked up when I walked in, and his face went through about 15 emotions at once. Recognition, hope, fear, grief. He stood up so fast, his chair scraped. You came. I didn't know what to say. I just stood there. He was tall, taller than me. He had dark hair like the woman in the photo, Rebecca, but his eyes were mine. Same shape, same color, even the same way they crinkled at the corners. Can I? He gestured to the table. Sit? I Saturday, he Saturday. We stared at each other. You look exactly like him, Leo said quietly. Exactly, but younger, like someone hit a reset button. I'm not him. I know you believe that. He opened his laptop, turned it toward me. But I need to show you something. It was a folder full of photos. Him clicking through them one by one. David Miller at various ages. Childhood, teenage years, college, wedding photos, baby photos, with Leo. Every single one was me. Younger in some, older in others, but undeniably me. This is you at 25, Leo said, pointing to one. The man in the photo was wearing a graduation gown, holding a diploma. He looked exactly like me. You graduated late. You worked full-time through school. He clicked to another. This is you at 28. You got your first real job. You were so proud. Another. This is you at 30. That's when you married Mom. Another. This is you at 31. That's me, 3 days old. I felt like I was going to throw up. I have your birth certificate, Leo said. He pulled out a folder. Actual papers. I have your social security card. I have your old driver's license. I have everything. He spread them out on the table. David Miller, born April 1985. Social security number. Address in a town I'd never heard of. Driver's license photo, me, but older. Date of birth, the 14th of April, 1985. My birth certificate, said April 1999. I don't understand, I whispered. Neither do I. Leo's eyes were wet. But I've spent 8 years trying to figure it out. And then 2 months ago, I saw your picture in the news. Some financial firm doing a Rising Stars feature. Mark Hayes, 24, top analyst. I almost scrolled past it, but then I saw your face, and I knew. How did you find me? I reverse. Image searched your photo, found your LinkedIn, your company's website. Your address wasn't hard to find after that. He looked guilty. I know that's creepy, but I had to know. I had to be sure. You've been watching me for 2 months. I'm sorry, I needed to be certain before I reached out. I couldn't get Mom's hopes up again just to be wrong. His voice broke. She died thinking you were dead. She died, not knowing. I didn't know what to say to that. What do you say to someone else's grief when you don't even know if it's yours? What do you want from me? I asked. I want my dad back. He was crying now, not hiding it. I want to know what happened. I want to know who took you. I want to know why. I just want my dad. I'm not your dad. I don't know you. I don't remember you. I know. He wiped his face. But maybe you will. Maybe if you try. I'm not trying anything. I have a life. I have parents. I have a job. I have memories. What memories? He leaned forward. Tell me one. Tell me one specific memory from before you were 15. I opened my mouth. Nothing came. I tried again. Kindergarten? Blank. First grade? Blank. I could remember feelings, safety, warmth, comfort, but no details, no faces, no names, nothing concrete until high school. I started. You can't, can you? That doesn't mean anything. Lots of people have spotty childhood memories. This isn't spotty. This is gone. He pulled out another paper. This is a report from the investigator we hired. After you vanished, he found evidence that someone had been watching you, following you. There were reports of a couple in their 60s, asking about you at your work, asking about your schedule, your routines. My parents were in their 60s. They took you, Leo said, whoever they are. They took you and they did something to you and they gave you a new identity, a new age, a new life. Why? Why would anyone do that? I don't know. Maybe they lost a son. Maybe they wanted to. I don't know. But it happened. And you're him. You're David Miller. I shook my head. I need to go. Wait. He grabbed my arm, then immediately let go like he'd been burned. Sorry. I'm sorry. Can I give you my number? In case you want to talk? In case you remember anything? I took his card. I left. I drove home in a daze, parked, sat in my car for 20 minutes. Everything felt wrong. The steering wheel felt wrong. The seat felt wrong. My own hands looked wrong. I went inside and tore through my apartment, looking for what? I didn't know. Evidence, proof, something. I found my birth certificate in a drawer. Mark Hayes, born the 12th of April 1999. Parents, Richard and Helen Hayes. It looked real. The paper was old. The seal looked official, but so did David Miller's. I found my social security card, my passport, my high school diploma, my college degree, all of it Mark Hayes, all of it real. But was it? I opened my laptop and searched for Richard and Helen Hayes, my parents. Found them easily. Facebook profiles, photos of them at the beach, at restaurants, smiling, normal. There were photos of me with them, dozens of them, family photos going back years, but only to 2017. I scrolled through Helen's Facebook, photos of me at high school graduation 2017, first day of college 2017, birthday posts for me starting in 2017, nothing before. I checked Richard's, same thing. Photos of me starting in 2017, nothing earlier. They'd created a whole life for me, a whole history, 7 years of manufactured memories. I threw up in my kitchen sink. I didn't sleep that night. I sat at my laptop and searched. David Miller, Rebecca Miller, Leo Vance. I read every article, watched every news segment I could find. The disappearance was a genuine mystery. No leads, no suspects, no motive, just a man who vanished. At 3 a.m., I found a video, a news interview from 2018, 1 year after the disappearance. Rebecca and Leo sitting on a couch, holding hands. Rebecca looked destroyed. Leo looked angry. He wouldn't leave us, Rebecca said. Her voice was hoarse. He was a good father, a good husband. Something happened to him. What do you want to say to David if he's watching? The interviewer asked. Rebecca looked directly at the camera. Come home. Please come home. We love you. We need you. Leo needs you. Whatever happened, whatever you're going through, we'll figure it out together. Just come home. Leo spoke next. His voice was shaking with fury. And if someone took him, if someone hurt him, we will find you. I will spend my entire life finding you. The video ended. I sat there in my dark apartment, staring at the frozen frame of Leo's face. His 8-year-old face, twisted with rage and grief. Now he was 32, older than I thought I was, and he'd kept his promise. He'd found me. My phone rang. 4 a.m. Unknown number, I answered. Hello? Mark. It was my mom, Helen. We need to talk. Yeah, we do. Not over the phone. Can you come see us? No. Mark, please. Let us explain. Explain what? That you kidnapped me? That you stole someone's husband and father and turned him into your son? It's not that simple. Then make it simple. Silence. Did you know David Miller? I asked. Yes. My heart stopped. How? He was our son. Our real son. He died. And we couldn't. So you took someone else's son? He looks so much like him. So much. We saw him one day and it was like David was back. We wanted to be parents again. We wanted our son back. I'm not your son. We know that now, but we didn't know how else to cope. We didn't know how else to survive losing him. She was crying. We made a mistake. A terrible, terrible mistake. But we love you. We've loved you like our own. Where's your real son? Where's the real Mark Hayes? Buried next to his mother. He died in a car accident 25 years ago. He was 6. The same age I was supposed to have gotten my scar. How did you do it? I asked. How did you make me believe I was someone else? We had help. Someone who knew how to reset people, make them forget. It's not permanent. The memories come back eventually, but by then, usually, people have built a new life. They don't want to go back. Who? Who helped you? I can't tell you that. You owe me the truth. We owe you a life. We gave you one. A good one. A safe one. Better than what you had. I had a wife. I had a son. How is that worse? You were struggling, financially, emotionally. We gave you a fresh start, a new chance. You didn't give me anything. You stole my life. She was silent for a long time. Then, what are you going to do? I don't know. Are you going to turn us in? I should. But will you? I hung up. I sat there until the sun came up. At 7 a.m., I called Leo. Hello? He sounded like he hadn't slept either. It's Mark. Or whoever I am. Did you remember something? No, but I talked to Helen and Richard. They admitted it. They knew David Miller. They took him. They took me. Leo didn't say anything. I could hear him breathing, hard and fast. Leo, I'm going to kill them. His voice was flat, dead. I'm going to find them, and I'm going to kill them. Don't, please. I need to figure this out first. Figure what out? They stole you. They stole 8 years of your life. 8 years of my life. Mom died without you. I grew up without you. I know. But if you do something stupid, it won't bring those years back. Nothing will bring them back. He laughed, bitter and hollow. But at least they'll pay. Leo, do you remember me at all? Anything? I wanted to lie. I wanted to tell him yes. I remembered everything. I remembered him as a baby, as a toddler, as a kid, but I couldn't. No, nothing? Nothing. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. It's not your fault, he exhaled. Can I see you again? I don't know if that's a good idea. Please, just once more. I have more photos, more videos. Maybe something will trigger a memory. I wanted to say no. I wanted to run, but I couldn't. Because somewhere in my broken brain, I knew he was right. I knew I was David Miller. I just couldn't feel it yet. Okay, tomorrow. Thank you. He sounded like he was crying again. Thank you. We met at his apartment this time. It was small, cramped, filled with boxes and papers. One wall was covered completely, covered with a timeline, photos, maps, news clippings, string connecting different pieces. It looked like something from a movie, a detective's obsession wall. Welcome to my life's work, Leo said dryly. Finding you. I walked closer. The timeline started in 2017. David Miller's last known movements. His car found on Highway 26. Then gaps, empty spaces where the investigation went cold. Then in 2019, a note. Possible sighting, Nebraska. Another in 2020. Possible sighting, Iowa. Nothing concrete, just maybes. Then, 2 months ago, a new section. Photos of me, current me, Mark Hayes. Articles about my job, my address, my routines. You've been stalking me. Yes, he didn't apologize. I had to be sure, and I had to figure out how to approach you without scaring you off. How's that working out? Not great. He smiled, sad and small. But you're here. That's something. He pulled out a box, opened it. Inside were hundreds of photos. Personal ones, family ones. This is you and me at my first baseball game. You taught me how to catch. He handed me the photo. David Miller, younger, crouched next to a small boy with a glove, both smiling. I felt nothing. This is you and Mom on your anniversary. You surprised her with a trip. Another photo, David and Rebecca on a beach somewhere. Sunset. Happy. Nothing. This is you and me the day I learned to ride a bike. You ran alongside me for 2 hours. David running next to a small boy on a red bike. Wait, red bike. The scar. Helen had said I fell off a red bike, but in the photo, Leo was the one on the bike, not me. Did I ever have a bike accident? I asked. Leo looked confused. You? No. Why? The scar. Above my eye. Helen and Richard said I got it falling off a bike when I was 6. You got that scar in a work accident. You were 28. A shelf fell. You needed 12 stitches. A work accident, not a bike. Another lie. Another piece of the fabricated history. Do you have photos of the scar after the accident? Leo nodded, flipped through his phone. Found one. David Miller, with a fresh, angry wound above his eye. Stitches visible. Date stamp. March 2013. The same scar I had now. Healed. Exactly the same. Something clicked. Not a memory. Just a recognition. A certainty. That scar was mine. From that accident. Not from a bike. Not from a made-up childhood. From a real life. I couldn't remember. It's me, I said quietly. I'm him. I'm David Miller. Leo looked up, eyes wide. You remember? No, but I know. I can feel it. It's me. He started crying again, full on sobbing. He stood up like he wanted to hug me, then stopped himself. Sorry. I'm sorry. I've waited so long to hear you say that. I don't remember you, though. I don't remember Rebecca. I don't remember any of it. But you will. The memories are still there. They have to be. What if they're not? What if whoever did this to me erased them permanently? Then we'll make new ones. He wiped his face. I don't care. I just want you in my life, however that looks. I sat down. My legs felt weak. I don't know how to be your dad. You don't have to be. Not yet. Just be you. We'll figure out the rest. I'm not the same person I was. Even if the memories come back, I've lived 7 years as someone else. I'm not the man you remember. I know. And I'm not the kid you remember either. We're both different now, but we're still family. Family. The word felt foreign. I'd had a family, Helen and Richard, except I hadn't. They'd been captors pretending to be parents, and my real family, Rebecca and Leo, were strangers. One dead, one sitting across from me with desperate eyes. I need time, I said. I understand, and I need to figure out what to do about Helen and Richard. You mean pressing charges? I mean everything. They said someone helped them, someone who knew how to reset people, make them forget. Who? They wouldn't say. Leo's jaw tightened. We need to find out, because if they did this to you, they might have done it to others. I hadn't thought of that. How many other David Millers were out there? How many other people living fake lives, believing fake histories? I'll try to get more information, I said. How? I'll talk to them again. Wear a wire. Record them. That's dangerous. It's necessary. I stood up. I need to go. I need to think. Wait. Leo grabbed a photo from the box, handed it to me. Take this. Maybe it'll help. It was the photo from the porch. David, Rebecca, and Leo. The day before, everything changed. I took it. Thank you. For what? For not giving up. For finding me. He smiled. Actually smiled. That's the most dad thing you've said to me in 8 years. I went home and planned. If Helen and Richard had help, there had to be a trail, records, payments, something. I pulled out my laptop and started digging into their finances, bank statements, credit card records, anything I could access. Most of it was normal. Groceries, utilities, retirement fund, withdrawals. But then I found it, a series of payments starting in late 2017, $5,000 a month to something called Renewal Services LLC. The payments continued for 2 years, then stopped in 2019. I searched for Renewal Services LLC. Nothing. The company didn't exist. No website, no registration, no public records. It was a shell, a front. But someone had cashed those checks. Someone had received $120,000 to help Helen and Richard turn David Miller into Mark Hayes. I called Helen. Mark, who is Renewal Services? Silence. Tell me, or I go to the authorities. Right now. You can't. Watch me. If you go to them, you'll never get your memories back. The process is delicate. If you force it, you could lose everything permanently. I've already lost everything. Mark, please. My name is David. She inhaled sharply. You remember? No, but I know. And I need to know who helped you. Who are they? They're just people. People who help other people start over. Against their will? Sometimes. When it's necessary. What makes it necessary? Abuse. Trafficking. Witness protection for people who can't access official channels. They help people disappear. They help people forget trauma. I wasn't trafficked. I wasn't abused. I was a father, a husband. You were drowning. Financially, emotionally, We saw you struggling. We saw how hard it was. We thought we were helping. You thought you were replacing your dead son. Yes. Her voice was small. We did, and we were wrong. But David, please, if you go to the authorities, these people will disappear, and you'll never get answers. You'll never know what they did, or how to undo it. How do I undo it? I don't know. They said the memories would come back on their own, gradually, triggered by familiar things. It's been 7 years. Nothing's come back. Maybe you haven't seen the right triggers yet. I thought about Leo, about the photos, about the scar. Small recognitions, but no memories. Give me their contact information. I can't. Then I'm hanging up and calling the authorities. Wait, I'll try to set up a meeting. I'll ask them, but I can't promise anything. You have 24 hours. I hung up before she could respond. I spent the next day at work, pretending everything was normal, analyzing spreadsheets, attending meetings, making small talk. But inside, I was screaming. Every face looked like a lie. Every word felt fake. I kept touching the scar above my eye, reminding myself it was real. That injury was real. David Miller was real. Mark Hayes was the lie. At 6 p.m., Helen called. They agreed to meet you. Where? Tomorrow, 2 p.m. There's a park near the river, east side. They'll find you. How will I know them? They'll know you. She hung up. I texted Leo, told him about the meeting. He wanted to come. I told him no. If they saw him, they'd bolt. I needed to do this alone. The park was empty, cold. It was mid-November, and the trees were bare. I sat on a bench near the river and waited. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Look to your right. I looked. A woman was sitting 3 benches down, middle-aged, nondescript. She could have been anyone. She stood and walked over. David Miller, she said. Not a question, a statement. That's what they tell me. You don't remember. No, but you know. Yes. She sat down next to me, pulled out a tablet, opened a file. Your case was unusual. Most of our clients come to us willingly. They want to forget. They want to start over. You didn't. Helen and Richard brought me to you. Yes, against protocol. We don't take unwilling subjects, but they were persuasive and desperate. So you helped them kidnap me. We helped them give you a second chance. I didn't want a second chance. Everyone wants a second chance. They just don't always know it. She scrolled through the file. You were struggling. Debt. Depression. Your marriage was strained. Leo was acting out. You were drowning. So you erased me. We gave you a clean slate, a new identity, a new history, a chance to be someone without all that weight. And what about my wife? My son? Unfortunate casualties, but they moved on. Rebecca found peace eventually. Leo got therapy. Rebecca's dead. The woman's face flickered. Something like guilt. I heard. I'm sorry. Are you? Because you helped kill her. She died looking for me. She died thinking I abandoned her. We gave her closure. Eventually, we made sure evidence was found suggesting you'd moved far away. Started over. It was kinder than the alternative. The alternative being the truth? The truth being that you were taken against your will and erased. Yes, that would have been worse. I wanted to hit her. My hands were shaking with rage. How did you do it? How did you make me forget? A combination of therapy, medication, and suggestion. We isolated you for 6 months, slowly broke down your existing identity, and built a new one. By the time you were released to Helen and Richard, you genuinely believed you were Mark Hayes. You believed you were 17. You believed you'd lived with them your whole life. That's brainwashing. That's reconstruction. It's evil. It's survival. We've helped hundreds of people escape impossible situations. Abuse, addiction, trafficking. We've saved lives. You ruined mine. Did we? She tilted her head. You have a good job. A stable life. No debt, no depression. Mark Hayes is happy. David Miller was drowning. David Miller had a family, and now he has them again, if he wants them. What do you mean? Your memories aren't gone. They're suppressed. We can bring them back, gradually, safely. How? Exposure therapy. Surround yourself with people and places from your old life. Let the memories surface naturally. It'll take time, months, maybe years, but they'll come back. And if I want them back faster, then you risk breaking your mind. The reconstruction is fragile. Force it, and you could fracture. Permanent damage, personality changes, psychosis. We've seen it happen. So my options are wait patiently or go insane. Those are your options. Yes. What about Helen and Richard? Are you going to help them escape? They're already gone. They left this morning. New identities, new lives. You'll never find them. Of course they were. Of course they'd planned their escape. And you? Will you disappear too? Eventually. But I wanted to give you this first. She handed me a USB drive. Everything we have on your case. The recordings, the therapy notes, the timeline. It might help. Why are you giving this to me? Because I made a mistake. We all did. You never should have been brought to us. And Rebecca never should have suffered. This is my apology. Your apology is a USB drive? My apology is the truth. Do with it what you will. She stood up and walked away. I didn't follow. I just sat there, holding the drive, watching her disappear into the trees. I went straight to Leo's apartment. He opened the door before I knocked. Did you meet them? Yeah. I held up the drive. And they gave me this. We plugged it in, watched the files load, hundreds of documents, audio recordings, video files, everything. The first video was dated November 4th, 2017. One day after I'd disappeared, it showed a room, white walls, no windows, a man sitting in a chair, David Miller. Me. I looked confused, terrified. A voice off camera. Tell me your name. David Miller. Where are you from? I don't know where I am. Where's my car? Where's my family? Tell me about your family. Rebecca, my wife, and Leo, my son. I need to call them. They'll be worried. You'll see them soon. First, we need to talk. The video cut off. The next video was dated a week later. Same room, same chair. But David looked different. Tired, thinner, lost. Tell me your name. David Miller. Are you sure? Yes, I think so. What about Mark? Does that name mean anything to you? Mark? Mark Hayes. No, I don't. I don't know that name. Think harder. I can't remember. The video cut off again. Leo was crying. I was numb. We watched video after video. Watched David Miller slowly disappear. Watched him forget Rebecca. Forget Leo. Forget his entire life. Watched him become Mark Hayes. The final video was dated 6 months later. David, now Mark, sitting in the same chair, smiling. Tell me your name. Mark Hayes. How old are you? 17. Where are you from? I've always lived here with my parents, Helen and Richard. Tell me about them. They're great. They've always been there for me. I love them. And what about Rebecca? Who? Rebecca Miller. I don't know anyone by that name. Leo? Is that a person? David Miller. Never heard of him. The video ended. Leo stood up and left the room. I heard him in the bathroom, retching. I just sat there staring at the screen. That was me. That was what they'd done to me. Erased me, rebuilt me, made me into someone else. Leo came back, pale and shaking. I'm going to kill them. All of them. They're gone. Helen and Richard are gone. The woman I met today will be gone soon too. Then we'll find them. We'll hunt them down. And then what? It won't bring back the lost years. It won't bring back Rebecca. It'll be justice. It'll be revenge. What's the difference? I didn't have an answer. We spent the rest of the night going through the files, reading therapy notes, listening to audio recordings, piecing together exactly what had been done to me. The process was meticulous, calculated. They'd taken a person and systematically dismantled him, then built someone new from the pieces. And it had worked. For 7 years, I'd been Mark Hayes. Completely, totally. No doubts, no questions. Until Leo found me. Over the next few weeks, I tried to follow the woman's advice. I surrounded myself with David Miller's life. I went to the house where he'd lived, abandoned now, but still standing. I walked through empty rooms, touched walls, looked out windows, nothing. I visited Rebecca's grave, stood there for an hour, read the inscription, beloved wife and mother, forever waiting. Still nothing. I spent time with Leo. He showed me more photos, more videos, told me stories about David, about their life together, small things, big things, everything. And slowly, painfully, slowly, something started to shift. Not memories, not yet, but feelings, recognitions, a sense of rightness when Leo called me Dad, a sense of loss when I looked at Rebecca's photo, a sense of home when I stood in that empty house. One night, 3 months after Leo found me, we were at his apartment. He was showing me a video of David teaching him to throw a football. And something clicked. Not a memory, but a feeling. A muscle memory. My hands moved automatically, mimicking the throw. You remember? Leo whispered. I don't remember, but my body does. It was a start. More moments followed. The smell of Rebecca's perfume Leo had kept a bottle triggered a wave of emotion I couldn't name but felt in my bones. The sound of a specific song made my chest tight. The taste of a particular meal made me feel safe. My body remembered even when my mind didn't. But the actual memories, the clear, concrete memories, stayed buried. 6 months in, I made a decision. I contacted the authorities, turned over the USB drive, gave them everything. Helen and Richard were wanted now. Renewal Services was under investigation. The woman I'd met was gone, but there were others. Other victims. Other cases. It made headlines. Missing man found after 8 years, but doesn't remember his life. The story went viral. Other families reached out. Other missing people who might have been taken, might have been renewed. Leo Leo and I became advocates. We spoke at conferences. We met with legislators. We pushed for laws against non-consensual identity reconstruction. We helped other families search. And through it all, I kept waiting for my memories to come back. It's been a year now since Leo found me. I'm 41 years old, even though part of me still feels 24. I have a son who's 33. I had a wife who died waiting for me. I had a life I can't remember, but I'm building a new one. Leo and I have dinner every week. We're not the father and son we were, but we're something. A new relationship built on honesty and patience. He tells me about his life, his job, his girlfriend, his plans. I tell him about mine, the strange experience of aging 8 years overnight, of learning to be 41 when you thought you were 24. Sometimes I catch him looking at me with this expression, hope mixed with sadness. He's waiting for me to remember, to really be his dad again. I don't know if that'll ever happen. Last week, something strange occurred. I was walking past a playground and heard a kid laughing. And for just a second, one brief, shining second, I remembered. A memory, clear and vivid and real. Leo, age 4, on a swing. Me pushing him, his laughter echoing, his joy contagious. The sun warm on my face, and then it was gone. But it was there, proof that the memories aren't dead, just sleeping. I called Leo immediately. Told him, he cried. I cried. We sat on the phone in silence for 10 minutes, just breathing together. It'll come back, he said. All of it. I know it will. And if it doesn't, then we keep going anyway. We build something new. That night, I looked at the photo he'd given me a year ago. David, Rebecca, and Leo on the porch. The day before, everything changed. I still don't remember that day. I don't remember the man in the photo, but I'm starting to understand him. He was someone who loved his family, who worked hard, who struggled, who was taken, who lost everything. And he's me. I'm David Miller. I'm 41 years old. I have a son named Leo. I had a wife named Rebecca. I lost 8 years to people who thought they were helping me. I lost memories that may never return. But I'm still here, and I'm not going anywhere. 2 years after Leo found me, I got a letter. No return address. Postmarked from overseas. Inside was a single page. David, I'm the woman from the park. I know you turned everything over to the authorities. I know you're trying to shut us down. I respect that. But I wanted you to know something. We found Helen and Richard. They're in custody now. They'll face trial for what they did to you. It won't bring back your lost years, but it's something. Also, I wanted to give you this, one final piece. We kept detailed logs of your therapy sessions, including something we rarely log, the moments when your real memories broke through. The times when David Miller fought back against Mark Hayes. You had a phrase, something you said over and over during the reconstruction. We dismissed it as noise, resistance, but maybe it meant something. Red bike, porch, forever waiting. I don't know what it means, but maybe you will. I'm sorry for what we did to you, truly. See, red bike, porch, forever waiting. I stared at the words. They felt important, significant, but I didn't know why. I called Leo. Red bike, porch, forever waiting. Does that mean anything to you? Silence. Then a sharp intake of breath. Dad, that's what you said. The last morning, before you disappeared, we were on the porch. I was riding my red bike. You were heading to work, and you said, I'll be back soon. Forever, waiting right here for you. My chest tightened. Not a memory, but an echo of one. A shadow. I said that every morning. It was our thing. Your promise. You'd always come back. Forever waiting. Right here for you. And Rebecca's gravestone. Forever waiting. She'd been telling me. Even after death. Even when I couldn't hear. Forever waiting for me to come home. Something broke inside me. Not my mind. Something deeper. The wall between David and Mark cracked. And for the first time in 8 years, I felt it. The loss, the grief, the love. I remembered Leo's face. 4 years old on a swing. 8 years old with a red bike. The sound of Rebecca's laugh. The feel of her hand in mine. The smell of our house. The weight of being a father, a husband, a man with a life. It all came flooding back. Not everything, not perfectly, but enough. I was David Miller. I'd always been David Miller. And I'd finally come home. 3 years later. I'm 44 now. The age I should have been when Leo first found me. I've recovered about 60% of my memories. Some are crystal clear. Some are murky. Some are probably gone forever. But I'm okay with that. Leo and I are close now. Really close. We talk every day. He calls me Dad without hesitation. I call him son without feeling like a fraud. We've built something real. I visit Rebecca's grave once a week. I tell her about Leo, about my life, about the memories I've recovered. I tell her I'm sorry I couldn't come back sooner. I tell her I loved her. Still do. Helen and Richard were convicted. They're both serving 20 years. I testified at their trial. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. Part of me still feels like they were my parents. The brainwashing ran deep, but I did it. For Rebecca, for Leo, for all the other victims. Renewal services was shut down. Several operators were arrested. The woman from the park was never found. But we helped dozens of families reunite with lost loved ones. People who'd been renewed against their will. People who thought they were someone else. I still work as a financial analyst. Still live in the same apartment. Still answer to Mark Hayes at work. It was easier than explaining everything. But at home, with Leo, I'm David Miller. I'm both people now, Mark and David. The man I was forced to become and the man I always was. It's messy, complicated, but it's mine. Last month, Leo got engaged. His fiancée is wonderful, kind, patient. She knows the whole story. She still calls me David, never Mark. It helps. Leo asked me to walk him down the aisle. Don't you mean I walk you? I joked. Father of the groom? Dad, you've already been walking with me for 3 years now. Every day. This is just making it official, I cried. Right there in his apartment, full on sobbing. He hugged me, and in that moment, I remembered another hug, years ago. A small boy after a nightmare. Me holding him, promising everything would be okay. Forever waiting right here for you, I whispered. I know, Dad, he whispered back. I know. The wedding is in 2 months. I'm terrified and excited. I'm going to walk my son down the aisle. My 5-year-old son. My son who's older than I thought I was when he found me. My son who never gave up. Sometimes I think about what would have happened if Leo hadn't found me. If he'd given up. If he'd believed the fake evidence that I'd moved away. I'd still be Mark Hayes. I'd still be 24 inches my head. I'd still be living a lie. But he didn't give up. He kept searching, he kept believing, and he brought me home. I can't get back the 8 years I lost. I can't bring Rebecca back. I can't undo what was done to me. But I can be here now. For Leo, for his future wife, for the grandchildren they might have someday. I can be the father I was supposed to be, even if it's 8 years late. I'm David Miller. I'm 44 years old. I have a son named Leo who saved my life by refusing to let me stay lost. And I'm finally, truly, completely home.